Hey, what's up? It's time for more Fallout. This is episode 4 of season 1. That will bring us, after we finish this episode, we'll be at the halfway point of the season so far. Which, you know, it's only 4 episodes, so it's not like this was a huge commitment, but I also feel like, hey, yeah, there's a decent amount to go in this season. Like 4 episodes, all being, you know, somewhere near an hour each or so. It's cool. I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, especially because the pacing is seemingly very good in this season so far, where I feel like the plot is moving forward in a faster pace than I expected it to. So I'm wondering, like, what's gonna happen, and like it actually at the start I thought 8 episodes doesn't seem like a lot. But now, I feel like, well, if there's still, including this episode, 5 episodes to go, that feels like that's a lot of time for how much story, I guess, I have in my mind. But, you know, my mind is not lined up with the mind of Jonathan Nolan and all the other people who work on this show. They have a better idea of what to do with this show than I would, I think. So I'm really excited to see their vision come to light, however it is. And I wonder how conclusive, because I don't know much about like what Fallout, like what people were saying about if there's going to be a season 2 and whatever. Like, I think there's supposed to be more seasons coming out. But I guess what I don't know is there going to be like a definitive ending to this one, and maybe this would be like an anthology series, or is there going to be like a loose ending where it's like they tie up most of the plot points but there's still hints of stuff to come? Or is it going to be that there's no ending, there's a cliffhanger maybe, or, you know, there's a lot of ways that they could go about it. So I'm excited to, when we get there, see what happens. But don't tell me, you know, obviously what's going to happen, or don't even say like, well, it's not going to be a definitive ending or whatever. Don't tell me that. I want to see what happens when we get there. But yeah, anyway, this is Fallout episode 4. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing. You can go to my Patreon account to get not only the full-length reaction, so you can watch the whole episode with me, but also next week's episode is on there in full length right now. So go check out episode 5 right after you finish this video on my Patreon account in the full-length version. Just sync it up with your own footage. You can also go to my Jent Watches One Piece channel if you like One Piece. Go check out that stuff as well. But without further ado, let's jump into this Fallout episode 4.
Thou shalt get sidetracked by bullshit every goddamn time.
I love that line.
Let's go sunning.
Oh, I don't need to see that shit. No.
Happiness to everyone. Let's go sunning.
Roger? She's still missing a boot. That must suck. You're trekking across the desert. What's going on in here? I wonder what this character's name is. Oh, I see. How did you know my name?
Fancy seeing you out here.
Okay, so he's a ghoul as well. So is he saying my name is Roger to like keep his sense of self? Try not to lose himself. That's probably what the drugs do. Make sure you don't lose yourself.
It's hard out here.
He sounds like
Smoothies can be so unkind.
he sounds like Jeff Ward, doesn't he?
Hey, you don't have to have any vials, do you?
No, that's a big problem with him right now. This is their way of showing us what happens if you don't have the vials.
You might want to clear out before things get ugly.
Oh, this guy's nice. I like Roger. He's like so understanding.
Okay. No, not as long as you though. You've outlasted us all. Well, I've always been good at making money, Roger.
It's so interesting. So, okay, it's good that they're showing us, like, why he needs the vials.
Ah, damn! Apple pie! You know,
Aw.
my mom used to...
Oh! Just gave him a good last memory. That's actually kind of merciful. Like you made him go out laughing and happy. I know it's horrifying, Lucy, but oh, okay. Oh, Jesus.
Please,
It ain't all canned peaches and marmalade left up here, sweetheart. Sometimes
Oh, Jesus.
fellas gotta eat a fella.
Oh, God.
I bet he had a beard with a drawing of his neighbor's ass.
I don't think so. I don't get that vibe from her dad.
Why the fuck am I doing all the work?
You're the one who's gonna get the spoils. She doesn't want to eat that.
Ass jerky.
God. But now I want some beef jerky. Poor Lucy. Oh, God. I love the scenes with these two, though. Nice.
Hello, ladies.
They have such a fun chemistry.
I was there the first time that you tried rhubarb pie and ice cream. You sure did like pie that day.
This is like the apple pie and ice cream they were just talking about.
You came here to talk to me about what I said at the assembly.
Yeah, it's
Why
pretty
you think it
fucked
is?
up.
You're the last standing McClane. Your voice carries more weight than you might realize.
That's true.
During the raid, I got in a storage space and I hid.
Yeah, man, it's a raid.
Does that make you angry?
You shouldn't have to give up your life.
That's all I ask.
I wonder where his character development is going. I wonder where this is leading. Is he descending or is he ascending? Did she end up eating any of it, or did she just, you know, cut some? She's fucking exhausted, and rightly so. That water's probably not good. It's probably fine for him. It's so irradiated. You can hear the...
How does that golden rule drive what's going through your head right now?
He's so taunting to her. He wants to break her spirit. He wants to see her, like, corrupt by the wasteland.
You just give it a little time.
In a way, I mean, he was so, like, sweet and optimistic when he was, like, alive. Oh, God. Oh, she's out of here. Oh. Man, I'd be so scared to run away from this guy. Jeez, this is like The Last of Us. And you got lassoed back! Gonna, yeah, bite off his fucking finger! Oh my God, Lucy! Oh God! Oh God! Oh no! No! Jesus! Oh my God!
That right there's the closest thing we've had to an honest exchange so far.
Oh Jesus! That's horrifying, man. Man, the Lucy Ghoul scenes are something else. They're insane. Look how normal their food looks compared to eating ass jerky.
Death of the father of your unborn baby.
Oh.
Same. It was actually,
He took great care of his shoes.
you know, it was one of the few things he truly loved.
Really?
Get him talking about shoe maintenance and he
Sh-
would carry on.
Strange but cool.
Everyone left the room. Took him away from me.
She trying to like...
Hate those guys.
She's trying to spur
They mean a
people's
lot to me.
revenge.
Thank you, Steph. I'll
Those look
I'll
quite
try to
small.
wear them.
Yeah. Doesn't quite fit. Probably hard to hug when the fabric is stretching your arms. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's complicated. That's a lot of baggage you're taking on there. Yeah, no, you're not. She's not making out with you. She's making out with Bert. This is strange foreplay. I mean, roleplay, not foreplay. Oh, is that a water? A water broke? Oh my gosh! What a wild scene.
Yes? Too much supply of owls. Exchange one female, mint condition.
Exchange, right.
Near mint condition.
Physical evaluation. Please send her.
I wouldn't call her. Well, never mind. I was gonna say I wouldn't call her near mint condition even without the finger, but
You're about to find out.
I would because it's fucking. What's her name? I can't remember her name right now.
Go on.
You got it. You just gotta go, Lucy. He's right. It's your path to survival. Ella Purnell. That's what I was trying to say. It's Ella Purnell, so she would be near mint condition even if she'd be mint condition even missing a finger. She's worth at least 3 years of vials. Oh my god.
Welcome.
What the fudge? I used to say that all the time in high school.
That won't do at all. Let's get you taken care of.
Are they gonna get her back a finger? I would like if she could be 10-fingered for the series.
Now, what have we here?
Oh.
Now, you're lucky I don't have to use a thumb. Our finger infantry's in a sorry state.
Oh god.
Now,
It doesn't look
you
great.
give me your hand.
I had to get back my dad.
That's much better, isn't it?
I mean, it actually.
Not a problem.
It seems like the right length and shape, actually.
Classic cotton or a comforting synthetic cotton blend.
Blend?
Creature that brought me here.
You seem unhappy.
He did not treat me very good. From pot of water that I'm pretty sure was just some kind of animal.
That is interesting.
Sex slave.
What?
What?
Disgusting. I'm simply going to harvest your organs.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh lord. Shit!
Wait, they're getting Jello cake?
Yeah, why not?
I wonder what your dad would say about this.
That.
Be handing out the cake himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up?
What are you looking at?
I just gave you Jello cake.
A murderer in a cage?
Okay. You're looking into it now? Denied? Yep. So they were doing some secret shit. Look at him traumatized.
Feel like getting out of the house? Yes.
Are they going to 32?
You don't think it's because you're still in love with my sister and being around me reminds you of her?
This is so wrong.
Come on. You have to see this.
Wrong.
It's so dark. Oh, a foosball table. Covered with blood, but still looks good. Oh, stabbed with the foosball sticks. How is something still playing? Just a TV still on. What does that say? Know the truth?
So the narrators got here.
Mm-hmm.
Who killed them? Like they strangled each other with their hands.
We know the truth. Oh. She's waking up already? It wasn't a very good tranquilizer or whatever. You don't... I thought you would like have kept her dead until... I mean, kept her knocked out until you harvested the organs. Mm-hmm. Then doing the thing to keep yourself steady again.
We can do 60.
Fantastic.
Next pickup.
Excellent
God.
idea as... Here we are. Let's get on with it, shall we?
Why does she have to be awake?
Don't keep waiting.
Why couldn't you have kept her knocked out?
You can't do this.
Or at least knock her out again.
My orphans.
And it will all be over.
Oh God!
Oh, this won't hurt a bit.
Who can even save her? The ghoul? Oh, she saves herself. Hell yeah. Oh my God, man. Yes. Yes, nice. Using a defib. That glitchy sound is really cool. I really liked that. Okay. You gotta get to their gun before they do.
Do as I say and Snip Snip doesn't get hurt.
It's a fucking robot.
Yeah, you might as well be holding an air conditioner.
Oh,
An air conditioner would be a big deal, but you know what I mean.
totally.
Go and pick up the gun.
Question?
Yeah. I think I do. Snip Snip, tell them what Abraxo does to the human body.
If you get it unstuck, it's very poisonous.
You can walk out of here.
Not just me.
Everyone.
Them too.
Yeah. Nice. Good job, Lucy. Saved yourself. Got a lot of people free.
Hey, thank you.
Isn't there? There's one still in there. There's Martha. Martha's still in there.
Lady, those ones you don't understand.
She's about to turn. If you let Martha and whoever else is there out, they're gonna turn.
You're free.
Yep. You're basically just letting zombies loose now.
Oh gosh.
Oh! Jesus! They're pretty aggressive, active zombies.
Goodbye.
Oh! Good job. He at least took it out when he went down. So now it's just you and Martha? Oh man, she's gonna have to kill Martha. You need to find her some medicine, maybe?
Martha.
The vial? Find her a vial. You need a shooter. You don't have a vial. Oh, Jesus! Poor Lucy, man. But you did save some others. And there's probably a lot of vials here that you could give to the ghoul. I know you're not exactly friends with him. Oh my God. We haven't seen Maximus all episode, by the way. Which I'm cool with, because I'm liking just these stories, but...
It's safe to say they went bananas.
This still doesn't explain how the Raiders got in.
True. Death to management? Is that what it says? Yeah.
It says it was open from the outside.
You need a Pip-Boy to open the door.
They had one.
Who's?
Yeah, where'd they get a Pip-Boy? Rose McClane.
My mom's.
Ah. Wow, is she gonna help you, Ghoul? Give you a vial that you need?
You don't get these. You turn into one of those.
Look at her, she's like fucking...
How it works?
What's his name from Die Hard? John McClane, right? And she's McClane.
I may end up looking like you.
But I'll never be like you, yeah.
Like you.
Oh, that's a lot of vials.
Golden rule, motherfucker.
I love her so much. Did she get a new boot? Looks like it. Looks like she got some clothes. Yeah, she did. Good on ya. Looks like there's a lot of vials in there, right? Man, because of her, you get all of this shit. It looks so satisfying. He's doing a great job at like making it just like being ravenous, you know? Careful! Don't be fucking harsh with it! Take the box! Is it useful drinking a lot at once? I would have thought it like staves off the effects for a certain amount of time, so... Careful with your fucking vials, dude! The Man from Dead Horse. Is that like... What is that? Like a movie he was in or something? He's like stepping on the vials and stuff. It makes me so frustrated. Is he gonna be watching himself? Yes, he is.
Means he was ugly, strong, and had dignity.
Ugly, strong, and had dignity. Is that something you're gonna live up to? Be ugly, strong, and have dignity. You've already got ugly and strong.
You common son of a bitch.
Is he being inspired by himself? Aww. This is so fun. Snip Snip Matt Berry. Hang on, it says in the credits that Snip Snip was Matt Berry. Was it? There's no way. Hang on, let me just... I need to go to a scene that he was talking in.
Would you mind taking a seat on that gurney in front of you?
Oh my god!
Now, what have we here?
It's Matt Berry! That's so... Wow, I didn't realize. That's so funny. I feel like Matt Berry's a voice that I could normally pick up. I do, like, I always, with my friends, I always do like a, hello there, I'm Matt Berry. Like, I always just do, because he's like so offensively British that it's just fun to do like an impression of him. That's wild. I didn't realize that was Matt Berry at all. That's crazy. I was like waiting through the credits to see who some of these actors were, because I felt like there were several side characters in this that I felt like seemed familiar, but Matt Berry was the only name in there that I recognized. Wild though. That's so crazy. I actually kind of wish that I knew that throughout the episode so that I could have enjoyed that, hearing Matt Berry's voice more, because I love his voice. But he actually it's funny because, you know, Snip Snip as a character was like, you know, classic like Fallout kind of goofy, ridiculous type character, right? Like those, you know, super happy bots that actually can be terrifying because they're robots that are unfeeling and stuff, right? You know, I've seen that a decent amount. But, you know, so it's supposed to be like a ridiculous character, but then, funnily enough, Matt Berry's performance of it is like, it sounds ridiculous until you find out it's Matt Berry, and then you're like, oh, he's actually doing kind of a restrained performance. Because I feel like normally he's like way more active with his Britishness than that. One of my favorite Matt Berry things ever is in Community. He's in season 6 of Community. He's in one episode called Grifting 101, and he plays the teacher of a grifting class. And he does a lot of like very, very British things there. But But at some point he gets at some point I think it's Britta goes up to him and slaps him, and he turns to her and goes, "You struck me with a woman's hand." And I always, that line always makes me laugh. Yeah, anyway, that was a great episode. I had a great time with that. It was really good, just like focusing on Lucy. Like, we didn't have any Maximus and Tiberius. What's his name? Why is my brain saying Tiberius? Fallout. Thaddeus. That's what it is. We didn't have any Thaddeus and Maximus in this episode, because we were just focused on Lucy and the Ghoul and Lucy's brother. What's his name? Norm. So we'll focus on those storylines. And I think that was a good choice, especially since the Lucy Ghoul stuff is so good. It's really, really great. Like, those two characters are so entertaining together and apart, and that's the beautiful thing about them. Like, it's like they both, if they're in their scenes alone, they're gonna be really engaging to watch. When they come together in scenes, that engagement, like, you know, compounds and gets even better. So yeah, it was really fun seeing the evolution in it. And you know what I love. I really love in this episode, like, I don't know if this is gonna be a continuation thing. You know, this is gonna continue throughout the series, but I've said before, like, I knew I would fall in love with Lucy because, one, it's Ella Purnell. I love Ella Purnell. But two, because she's a woman. But three, because she's such a positive, you know, optimistic character. And I love characters like that. I love characters that are, like, unabashedly optimistic, and they like really, you know, push that optimism on people. It's one of my favorite character archetypes in the world. And so seeing that in Lucy and seeing the way that Ella Purnell is playing it is great. And I really loved seeing it within the Wasteland. But I thought, you know, the point of having this character in the show is to show her getting beaten down. Show that kind of optimism cannot survive in a world like this. And, you know, you cannot be doing good in a world like this because it will eventually take it all away from you. That is what I thought they were doing here. And that is what, like, continuously, like, this episode was, like, setting up for. Right? The idea that, like, you know, she has to see what happens to Roger, like, right in front of her, and she has to help do it, and then she has to go and drink, like, shitty water and, like, you know, doing all of this awful stuff, and then she has to go and be sold. And, like, this is, you know, the rule of the Wasteland, and she had to, like, rip off the Ghoul's finger to defend herself, but then she had to get her own finger cut off, and, like, there's just so much horrible stuff she's being put through, right? But just what I really, really love is the way it concludes is not, like, it doesn't end, this episode at least, doesn't end with Lucy having to compromise herself, having to go even further, like, even deeper and, like, become more broken or whatever. And maybe that's still where the series is going, but I love that she got to climb up herself a little bit. She saved herself from all this shit. She got a bunch of people out of there. And sure, she got some other people killed, but still, like, overall, and I mean, the people she got killed were people that were harvesting people's organs and stuff, right? But she got herself out of there. She got some of those other people that were trapped in cages and stuff out of there as well. And she managed to get the vials and go out and give the vials to the Ghoul, who sold her for those vials. She still gave them to him. And I love that she, like, says, "I'll never be like you." And then it says, "Golden rule, motherfucker." Like, that's my favorite line of the episode. I love that, because it's, you know, she's sticking to her gun. She's sticking, because I think personally, optimism, like, some shows that are set in darker universes, they treat optimism as a major flaw, and it is a flaw of a character. It can be a flaw, you know, especially when it blinds you. But I also think sometimes when a show treats it as a flaw, like, I feel like you know, the logical thing to do would then be to, okay, they're going to grow and they're going to lose that optimism. I don't want that out of a character, you know? And as I keep saying, and I want to keep saying it to make sure it, you know, it sticks. I don't know if they are going to get rid of her optimism by the end of this. I think they still could. We're only in episode 4. But I'm just rejoicing in the fact that they made the climax of this episode, the really badass part of this episode, was her being able to be proud of herself for actually, despite all odds, doing the right thing. And like doing the thing that she feels like she should do. And being the person that her dad would have wanted her to be, or at least... At the very least, what her idea of her dad would have wanted her to be. The Ghoul seems to have a theory that her dad, you know, would have said he's such a good person or whatever, but actually, you know, deep down wasn't and would have been doing horrible, fucked up shit as well. I like to think the same as Lucy, and I'm an optimistic person myself, which is why I like this so much. But I kind of think the same as Lucy, where it's like, no, I don't think he was like that. I genuinely think he was a good enough person and he wouldn't have eaten people, essentially. But I don't know enough about him. I know him for all of part of an episode, you know? But yeah, anyway, so I loved that resolution to the episode so much. I think it's such a good writing decision. It was such a good character decision. And I like that, like, the episode, especially with the last 2 episodes, the Ghoul being sort of in power over Lucy. I love that she got to stick it to him. You know, it's so satisfying after he's been like so condescending to her the entire time. Like, oh, little girlie, you don't know what it's truly like out here. It's not all, you know, it's not all rainbows. You really don't understand what you need to do, and everything's gonna tear you down. And like, I love all of that setup was leading to him being humbled rather than it being a case of, yeah, no, she was wrong for being optimistic. So cool. So great. And then I like that scene at the end. I don't know if I'm fully, like, my interpretation of that scene at the end is he's seeing that line of himself saying, you know, what was it, be ugly, strong, and dignified or whatever. Like that scene, I'm reading it as he's going, maybe I need a bit more dignity to me, you know? maybe that's what he's reading it as. I don't know. I guess I have to see how his actions change from this episode onward, but that's kind of how I see that scene. But I do like the idea of him watching an old film of himself and being inspired by himself, you know? Like, not someone he looks up to, not his hero, not a friend of his, not, you know, someone who died that he cares about or whatever, but like a part that he was playing in his golden days, like a character he was playing. Obviously, he probably didn't write those lines. Those lines were probably written by a writer, you know. But it's cool that like he's hearing himself deliver them. Just so cool. But yeah, I mean, we have a lot of stuff going on with Vault 32 and the fact that they actually died a while ago, and that the vault door was open from the outside using the McClane, Rose McClane. I think you pronounce it McClane. I call it McClane. I say McClane because I keep seeing it written down in the subtitles, and it's spelled McClane, but you know, I'm pretty sure you pronounce that name McClane. I know that's such a small difference. McClane. But you pronounce it McClane. And John McClane is the name of the Die Hard protagonist, right? Oops, I just clicked John McCain. John McClane. Yeah, that's the Die Hard protagonist. Because she reminded me a lot of John McClane. Like, it's been a long time since I've seen Die Hard, and I only really remember Die Hards 1 and 4. And I barely remember 1 or 4, honestly. But I remember when I was a kid, I watched 4 a decent amount because I didn't really know much about the Die Hard movies. And 4 was like about hacking and stuff, and like I know a lot of people who like the Die Hard movies don't like 4 because it's not a very good Die Hard movie. But for me, it was like, it's a fun hacking movie, and so that's what I liked about it. But I then, when I grew up a bit, I watched Die Hard 1 because I heard so many great things about it. And it's a good movie. It's a very good movie. I think I watched Die Hard 2. I don't even know if I've watched Die Hard 3, to be honest. But the point is, I definitely don't remember them. But I remember Die Hard 1 a little bit, but mostly because media references it so much. Now this look for her reminds me of John McClane, in that, I mean, it's got like a sort of sleeveless top. She's like covered in blood and stuff, and like, you know, I imagine sweat and stuff. And she has like the single pistol, which I think is like isn't the classic thing, like the gun taped to your back type thing. It just, she reminds me a lot of John McClane in that scenario, where she's like walking out of this place that she just fucking, you know, single-handedly took down. But she's being a badass by being like, by having saved people, by being sweet. So good. I think Golden Rule motherfucker is the perfect encapsulation of that, because she's still saying motherfucker. She's not saying motherfudger, you know. She's been hardened in a way by the wasteland, but that doesn't mean she has to change who she is. I think that's the character development they're going to be going for with her. You can have the character do horrible things and like go into the depths of like what she's willing to do, for sure. But that doesn't mean it needs to take away that positivity, that optimism, and that love for other human beings. You can have that and also be a badass. And I pray that that's where this character is heading. I pray she's just gonna be a sweet, positive little badass that destroys everyone while also being like, you know, while also caring about her fellow human. Oh, good stuff. Man, the Bert roleplay scene where I mean, that poor guy is gonna have like the most fucked up sex life in his, it is like his idea of sex is gonna be so strange, because for most of his life he's basically thinking about his cousin, essentially, and then the one time she's gone and someone else comes in, it's someone who's pretending that he is her dead husband, and he goes with it. It's gonna really mess him up, I think. And then she like goes into labor partway through. Like, it's wild, absolutely wild. But yeah, and yeah, I already kind of mentioned it, but I would just like reiterate, the cutting off the finger scene in this episode, it was so wild, so crazy. Like, it was one thing for her to bite off his finger, but I, like, in my mind, I was still like, well, he's a ghoul, so like maybe his body's like weaker, and that will be like an easier thing to do. I mean, I know there's the whole thing where it's like, if you like, teeth can cut through a finger as if like you're biting through a carrot, like it's that easy. But we don't do it to our own fingers most of the time because our brain stops us from doing that, right? Which is horrifying to think of. But so like her biting through his finger, you know, I can certainly see, you know, that she could do that no matter what. But I still thought, like, he's a ghoul, so it's like him losing a finger or whatever, it's like, you know, maybe he could have lost a finger just by grabbing something wrong because his body is that old at this point. And also, like, after all this time, like, maybe he doesn't feel that much pain anymore, and he's used to that sort of thing. It felt different to me than her getting her finger sliced off, you know? And, like, the way he did it as well, it wasn't just, like, put her hand down, chop, you know? It was slice all the way around the finger until it pops off. That is fucking horrifying to me. So awful. Oh, but she got her finger back, so, or a finger. She got a finger, so... yeah, anyway, that's Fallout episode 4. That was so good. Such a good episode. I'm enjoying this show way more than I thought I would, and I'm loving that. I like that, you know, it's a 48-minute episode, this one, I think, yeah. And, you know, those sometimes don't fly by for me, but these episodes really are flying by. It's great. Anyway, that's Fallout episode 4. Thank you for watching. Make sure to support this video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing. You can go to my Patreon account for the full-length reaction and early access, which means you can get episode 5 on my Patreon account right now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.